All right, we're live on YouTube and live on Zoom. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to our Spring 2021 SJSU Lurie College of Education graduation celebration. It's quite a mouthful. I'd like to welcome you all as we're here to celebrate all of our graduates today. We're going to get started in a few minutes, right around 4 o'clock, but we wanted to get started a little bit early with the broadcast. So you all had a chance to enter and get situated beforehand. In the meantime, for our graduates, faculty, and staff who are joining us via Zoom, or our family and friends who are joining us via our YouTube live stream, let us know where you're tuning in from today. I'm over here in Pleasanton in the East Bay area, so I'm going to enter that in the chat here on Zoom. Yeah, feel free to enter in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from or who you're here to support and celebrate today, and we'll get started in just a few minutes. Amy joining us from over in San Jose, saying congrats to all the EDCO graduates. Make sure if you're on Zoom, when you enter into the chat, make sure you select all panelists and attendees next to the to option instead of all panelists. That way everyone can see what you're entering. And welcome to everyone who is joining us now on our Zoom webinar and our YouTube live stream for our Lurie College of Education graduation celebration. My name is Brian. I'm just here to entertain you for the next few minutes before we get started. While you're waiting, go ahead and enter in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from today. You can open up the YouTube live stream here to see if we have anything in the chat there as well. Marco says, congrats to all the grads and families and loved ones. You did it. That's right, we did it. It's been quite a semester, quite a year, quite a past 15 months, but you've made it to the finish line. Sabrina says congratulations. We have Loretta chiming in on our YouTube live stream saying happy graduation to Gina. All right, we have more folks contributing here into the chat on Zoom and on YouTube. Just make sure if you are entering anything into the chat on Zoom that you select all panelists and attendees instead of all panelists so we can make sure that everyone sees what you're contributing. Got a couple other chats coming in from the YouTube live stream. Marina says, congratulations, Carl. Alani says, Alani and Linda Amaris from Santa Cruz honoring Joey. We have Moonsan 10 saying, let's go Gooseman. I wonder who Gooseman is. Welcome everyone who's just joining us on Zoom or on YouTube for our Spring 2021 Lurie College of Education graduation celebration. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. Wanted to give you all some time to filter into our webinar and our live stream. But in the meantime, let us know where you're joining from today or who you're here to support by entering it in the chat. Adding to the chat on YouTube saying happy graduation to Kay. Seeing some more chats coming through on Zoom. Again, just make sure that when you are adding to the chat on Zoom, you select all panelists and attendees instead of all panelists. So that way everyone can see what you're contributing. More chats coming in from our YouTube live stream. Christine says congrats to all the grads. Big love to Gina. And Kai, Keith says Cynthia Bryce. Woohoo, go cousin, like it. All the way from Houston, nice, welcome. All right, we are approaching 4 o'clock, so we'll get started in just a minute. In the meantime, welcome everyone to our Lurie College of Education graduation celebration. While we're waiting, feel free to enter into the chat. Let us know where you're joining from today or who you're here to support. If you enter anything into the chat on Zoom, just make sure you select all panelists and attendees instead of all panelists. Got a lot more chats coming through on the YouTube live stream now. Love it. All right, well, it is 4 o'clock, as I mentioned, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Let me just pause the music there. So welcome again, everybody, to our SJSU Lurie College of Education graduation celebration for the spring 2021 semester to celebrate all of our graduates. You did it. My name is Brian. As I mentioned, I'm just here to get you all situated. So a few announcements before we get started. We wanted to let you know that a recording of this event will be available afterwards on our graduation webpage. So there's the URL for you in the slide. Live captions are available in the Zoom today. So if you are attending via Zoom, you can select that option from your Zoom toolbar in the bottom of the window, and they'll be available in the recording as well. Those of you who are attending on Zoom or watching via our YouTube live stream, your video and audio are automatically turned off, so you don't have to worry about being visible in today's recording or anything like that. But please use the chat and continue to use the chat to communicate with one another, give shout outs to all of our graduates throughout our virtual celebration today. So wanted to give you all an overview of the order of events for our college-wide ceremony. We'll start out with a video acknowledgement of all of our spring 2021 graduates. We have nearly 500 graduates. I think it's 483. The names are listed in alphabetical order by last name. So if your last name starts with A, be ready because you'll be first in that video. While that's happening, we'll have some remarks from our Dean Heather Lattimer and Associate Dean Marcos Pizarro. And then following their remarks, we'll have some remarks from our two graduation speakers, Janeth Canseco, who's earning her master's from our Department of Counselor Education, and Charline Tenorio, who's earning her master's from our Department of Communicative Disorders and Sciences. We'll conclude with a toast to our spring 2021 grads, and then we'll relocate into our department celebrations from there. So now I'd like to pass the mic over to our Dean Heather Lattimer and Associate Dean Marcos Pizarro.
Great. Well, thank you, Brian, and welcome everyone. You did it. We are so incredibly proud of you and so thrilled to be able to celebrate with you today. I had the honor of going to the blue carpet event that was being held for the photo opportunities at San Jose State yesterday and saw some of you. And it was just a joy to see people come and celebrate and be recognized for the incredible work and contributions that have happened during this last year in particular and over the course of your educational journey. And one of the best parts about that was that people were able to bring family and friends with them, and seeing people with grandparents and children and toddlers who were dressed in graduation caps and gowns recognizes the fact that this is not just an individual's graduation, it's often a family's graduation. It is a community graduation. And so we're really thrilled to have not only our graduates and our faculty and our staff joining us, but also our graduates' families and friends being able to celebrate with us this afternoon. Marcos, do you want to share a little bit?
Hey everyone, I'm so excited for you. I can't even believe how you all did this under these circumstances. It's really incredible and inspiring. So congratulations. I am Marcos Pizarro. I'm the Associate Dean for the college. And rather than do a traditional speech, Heather and I thought we might just have a little conversation as a way of passing on some thoughts to y'all. So I have the first question for Heather. What do you want to honor and celebrate about our graduates?
There is so much. This is the class of 2021 is demonstrated just amazing talent and capacity and care and heart throughout the time that they've been with us, and particularly over these last 15 months. If I had to pick out two words that I am particularly impressed by, it's tenacity and care. The tenaciousness with which our students embraced this time period and found not only ways to survive, but often ways to thrive throughout this time period has been really, really impressive. And to me, it says that they are going to be the transformative educators, counselors, therapists, school and community leaders that we aspire to prepare. They probably were already they had those things in their hearts and in their minds and in their souls before they even joined us. And they have definitely demonstrated throughout this time period that that our community and our world and our society is going to be better off because they're going out to do this work in the world. And I'm just really incredibly impressed by that tenaciousness. And that's balanced by care. And it's not, care can be a challenging word. Sometimes it's oh, I care, but I mean real care here. This is care from a sense of purpose. It's care from a sense of compassion. It's care not just to put a Band-Aid on something, but to make real substantive change and have impact in individuals' lives and in the life of our community and our society at large. And we've seen that over and over again over these past few months, and especially, but particularly during this time period where things are so up in the air, seeing the acts of care that have been demonstrated in how a student treats one of the peers in their class who's going through a rough time, or seeing how in their field experiences, they're reaching out and supporting the children and families that are there. They're raising funds so that classmates can participate in things that they otherwise wouldn't be able to. They're encouraging and supporting their faculty who are going through rough times. This is a class that just is really impressive in the dedication, the care, and the tenaciousness with which they approach their lives and their work. How about you, Marcos? What would you say that is most impressive to you about this group?
Well, see, this is what happens when you go second, because I also had two words, Heather, and my words were tenacity and brilliance. So what I will say is also like there's an endurance, right? So I'll kind of shift from the tenacity, but just the ability to stay strong for as long as you did. For some of our grads, like you spent your entire time at San Jose State in online learning, or almost all of that time in these last 3 semesters. So that's just really, again, it's inspiring. But I also want to point out the brilliance. To me, what I see amongst our grads is like this willingness to center like their holistic well-being, right? Being able to kind of push back at the institution and say, you know what, like we have to be able to take care of ourselves. Like we have to be whole, we have to be well in order for us to be change agents, in order for us to be engaged with our communities in ways that are meaningful and transformative. So they've asked us to question our investment in practices and behaviors that don't further justice, that don't further collective well-being. Just this past week, our students who have been involved in the Ethnic Studies residency program and our teacher credential students at Eastside San Jose's Overfelt High School, put on an event for the whole community, for the whole school, for the community. San Jose State folks were there, and it was an incredible event. And they just did it out of this love and dedication to supporting each other, right? Not to demonstrating intellectual, like amazing accolades or anything like that, but just to be caring for each other, like you said, Heather. So that's really, really impressive to me.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I have another question for you. Here it comes. We both graduated a while ago and went out into the world. And if you could look back and say to that younger self, what advice, give them some advice, what would you say to that person that maybe might resonate for some of our graduates today as well?
Well, the first thing is that 21-year-old graduate wouldn't have listened to this 53-year-old elder. So, but with the hopes that he might, here's what I would say. There's a couple things. One is that I just want to encourage you all to really explore and follow your personal and your intellectual passions with abandon, just to go for it. I think oftentimes I was so kind of like worried about what was the right thing to do, or how could I, afford to do this, that, or the other, and worried about finances and things like that, which is real as a first generation college student for sure. But I realized that anytime that I followed just like what I really cared about, it always led me into good places, and related to that, I would say that I would also want you to just love with abandon in everything you do. I think when I'm at my best and when I've done the most important and profound things in my life, it's just purely out of love. I've never regretted when I've been able to just love and love furiously and love with passion and commitment. And sometimes that looks like hard work, because of that love. But those are the things that I would say I would want you to just think about now as you're transitioning, because it's also something that is anxiety producing, right? And it can create a lot of like worry. And what I would say is if you follow that passion, you follow that heart, you follow love, your good things are going to happen. Great things are going to happen. What about you, Heather? What's your words of wisdom?
Now I have second person challenge because
Gotcha.
and I'm seeing a lot of advice and comments in the chat as well, and I want to honor those. And I see Tammy talking about radical love, and Mon talking about fostering our deeper sense of purpose, and those absolutely are spot on to what you're sharing, Marcos. And I was going to say, don't be afraid to break the rules. I think as a younger person, and I was a rule follower. I still am to some extent, but I think I was taught from an early age that if you work hard and you do good work, then you'll get ahead. And that doesn't work. The society doesn't work that way. Our system doesn't work that way. And that assumes that the structures and the systems are appropriate. And that's often not the case. So, with that sense of radical love, with that sense of purpose and the deeper engagement, recognizing that sometimes that's going to mean that we need to break the rules, and not to be afraid that doing so is a negative reflection on you. Oftentimes it's a positive reflection on you and a negative reflection on the rules that are out there. But it took me a long time to figure that out. And I wish that my younger self had known that and had strategies for how to go about breaking the rules, that forming community, finding people who were like-minded so that I wasn't out there on a limb by myself, and recognizing that it was okay to question. And if that sense in my gut told me that something wasn't right, then I probably wasn't wrong. Go have those conversations, talk with people and say, this is what I'm experiencing, and what can we maybe do about it together? All right. Well, it looks like we're getting towards the end of the list. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom for our graduates here?
I just want to say congratulations again. And I also want to, express a deep thanks to the families and the loved ones for all they did to help you become the amazing people that you are, and for the support that they offered, to make it possible for you to complete these programs. We know that it took a lot because you were doing all your studying in the kitchen or the living room or the bedroom, and they were trying their best, maybe not always successfully, but trying their best to make space for you so that you could do everything you needed to do to complete your program. So shout outs to you and your families and your loved ones and all those who made it possible. The pets that didn't get walked nearly enough or got walked too much, thanks to everyone. We really appreciate everything that you've brought to our community, and also can't wait to celebrate with you on campus sometime in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. We are planning that on-campus celebration. We don't know what it's going to look like yet, but please stay tuned because we do really want to be able to be face-to-face and give hugs and, be able to celebrate in person. That is something that I think we are all sorely missing. And in addition to saying thank you to family and friends for supporting our graduates, I also want to give a big shout out to our faculty and our staff who have done an incredible job this last 15 months in particular. That the heart and the passion is always there. And boy, it has just been amazing to see the creativity and the support and the love that's come out during this last 15 months as we've tried to figure out how to move a college into an online environment. So thank you to everyone who's supporting our graduates, and most especially thank you to our graduates. Thank you for committing to this work. The choices that you've made to commit to professions and academic pursuits in disciplines in the College of Education is a brave choice. And so we are grateful to you. We're grateful to all that you've added to our community in Lurie College, and we're incredibly grateful to you for the work that you're going to go do in our community and in our world. We are all better off for your choice and your commitment. With that, I'm going to pass it back to Brian.
All right. Well, thank you so much to Dean Lattimer and Associate Dean Pizarro for just sharing those words of encouragement, those reflections. the gratitude and all the thanks and support to all of our graduates and their support networks, their family, their friends, their classmates, their colleagues, everyone who's brought everyone to this point that we're here at today. So want to now transition to our two student speakers that we have for our graduation celebration today. I've had the privilege of being able to interact with them over the course of the semester as they've been practicing their speeches and fine-tuning them a bit. So I'm really excited to have them give their remarks today on behalf of their classmates and our college as a whole. So let me go ahead and get our first speaker spotlight. So first we'll have Janeth Canseco, who again is earning a master's from our Department of Counselor Education. And then following her, we'll have a speech from Charline Tenorio, who's earning a master's from our Department of Communicative Disorders and Sciences. So let me just get the spotlights updated really quickly here and stop the screen share. And Janeth, you can take it away.
Thank you, Brian. Hello, good evening, Lurie College and everyone joining today. Bienvenidos a todos que están aquí. First and foremost, congratulations to the class of 2021. I understand that we may not be in person walking through the stage as we all hoped, but nonetheless, we are here together celebrating this momentous occasion. I remember coming to SJSU 7 years ago to earn my bachelor's degree. Being a first-generation student and moving 6 hours away from home, I was nervous of what my experience would be like. How would I adapt? And can I even survive a semester here? Throughout my time here, SJSU has provided me with the opportunities in being a mentor and making an impact in other students' lives through EOP and transition programs, as well as promoting growth and development in infants and toddlers. I want to personally thank the AS Child Development Center, to all my lead teachers, TAs, and supervisors for their support and the many opportunities I've had these past 3 years. I want to take a moment for my families, to the Cerizo Pun family, Melissa and Serena. I thank you both for not only welcoming me into your family, cooking delicious meals, but allowing me to be a part of Nemo's growth and journey since he was 9 months old. To the Balasteri family, Dante and Marianne, I cannot be more grateful and always having your support, advice, and guiding me through this journey and trusting me with your daughter, Vida. To Vida and Nemo, I will not just be teacher Janeth anymore, but your cheerleader. Whether I am near or far, I'll always be proud of any accomplishment, big or small, you achieve. I look forward to what you will accomplish in the future. In August, Teacher Janeth will be a title and position that will come to an end for me, maybe sooner. Only time will tell. With that, to all my children, I've had the privilege in being your teacher. Thank you for reminding me of what it's like to be a kid again and giving me endless hugs and laughs when I needed them the most. After receiving my bachelor's in May 2019, I really thought this was it and I was officially done. But my heart wasn't ready to say goodbye to SJSU. I looked into the master's program in counselor education and thought, well, it doesn't hurt to apply. So I applied here and nowhere else. By the time I realized what my chances were of getting accepted, my application was completed and I was walking to the office to submit it, so there was no turning back. A special thanks to Jose Monzo for constantly meeting with me to work on my personal statement and giving me the reassurance I needed that grad school was for me. After months of anticipation and preparing plans A, B, and C, I was accepted into the program and was excited but nervous for what was to come. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Challenges are gifts that force us to search for a new center of gravity. Don't fight them. Just find a new way to stand." Throughout this pandemic, it has led us with a lot of uncertainty of what will happen, as well as challenges. Through these challenges, I feel the gift we have been given is building up resilience, and you all here today are a great example of it. Through making the change from in-person to online learning, working from home, and adapting to this new normal, you have all demonstrated not only resilience, but great strength. Although I can't tell the future and say we'll all be okay, I can leave you all with saying that it's going to get better. We don't know what the future has in store. We can only focus on the present and take it day by day. This past year has taught me that living in uncertainty is okay. It is okay to not have all the answers right here, right now, but they will come. I encourage you all to continue pushing forward towards any challenges that come your way. Inspire others the way you were once inspired. Share your story. Be proud of how far you've come and reflect on what this pandemic has taught us, and of course, be the change you want to be. If you were to ask me a few years ago if this is where I saw myself in 2021, I would not believe it. Everything truly happens for a reason. The experiences, challenges, opportunities, and to everyone I've met these past 20 years in my educational journey, You've all served a purpose in my life, and I would not be here or who I am without meeting you all. To my older sister, Jenny, thank you for leaving your mark and being the very first one in our family to get a college degree. You set the bar pretty high for me. It was a challenge, but my wish was always to accomplish as much as you did, and I hope I made you proud in doing so. I thank my family for being my #1 supporters in life. Mom and Dad, you came here with nothing, have worked constantly, and made many sacrifices, including driving 6 hours from Los Angeles to San Jose today just to stand next to me and give this speech. Today is a memorable moment for us, knowing that your last daughter is graduating. This isn't just my accomplishment, but ours. I am proud to be the first generation in our family to get a master's degree. To my friends back home in Montebello, the ones here in San Jose, as well as my EDCO family, you all know who you are. Thank you for the memories. To the incredible professors I've had the honor to meet, Jason Ventura, Murray Sheckman, Dr. Hugo, Dr. Beach, just to name a few. I appreciate you all. I am grateful for our department chair, Dr. Mena, who constantly met with me throughout my time in the program and has seen great potential in me from the moment we first met. Lastly, I want to recognize 2 individuals. You know, they say it's amazing how far you can go just because someone believes in you. Matthew Stowe and Adam Del Castillo, you both have been that someone. You've been my role models and mentors. I've said it 1,000 times and I'll continue to say it. I cannot thank you both enough for the impact you've made in my life. I will never take for granted the amount of time you both have given me throughout my undergraduate and graduate journey, from every check-in we had, being my go-to support system, and believe in me when I didn't believe in myself that I could make it this far. You've inspired, encouraged, and motivated me to apply to grad school. Now, 2 years later, here I am graduating. I hope I made you both proud. This may be the end of this chapter for us all, but soon enough, we will all begin a new one waiting to unfold. Congratulations again, class of 2021. Regardless of it all, we did that. Thank you.
All right, just checking my audio here. Okay. Hi, everyone. Just checking audio to make sure I'm not on mute, and just a little Zoom humor for you there. But if it's not funny anymore, I totally understand. I'm Charline Tenorio, a Lurie College of Education and Speech Language Pathology graduate student, or should I say recent grad. Either way, I'm here with all of you, my fellow graduates, professors, and educators, and dear friends and family that are also watching downstairs. I want to congratulate all of us on completing our degrees after powering through years of schoolwork, learning, and above all else, yes, a pandemic. Our stress levels have been through the roof, and I believe this day is one we have all been desperately awaiting, as today is the day we can breathe a little easier, knowing we have accomplished such an amazing task despite the circumstances. I am so proud of everyone here because I personally believe that what we have endured these past few years makes us one of the most prepared and resilient graduating classes in recent times. Not only will we be getting our degree from San Jose State, I heard our degree from Zoom University will come in the mail as well. We knew that the world was making its transition into being more tech-based and on an online format, but we didn't know it would come so soon. We successfully navigated our already stressful lives pre-COVID, added the pandemic and the election, and how Black Lives Matter, civil rights, and the environment, and everything else, and come out the other side as better, smarter, and stronger. I'm so proud of every single one of you and know that you all worked so hard to be where you are now. It was painful, but it was worth it, because now you're here. All the work you've put in and the road ahead cleared out for you to make your mark. My experience at San Jose State and the Lurie College started in undergrad. I attended here, received my bachelor's in communicative disorders and sciences, and thought, hey, I liked it here so much, I'll just come right on back, and started my master's program right after graduating. I went through such a transformation while attending here and saw myself becoming someone who was finally breaking out of their shell and feeling comfortable in their skin. Here, I outgrew the shy and quiet high school girl I once was and became a NISLA president, tutor, student ambassador, student representative, and now a graduate with a Master of Arts degree in education with a concentration in speech language pathology. Whew. I will forever be grateful for my experience here, for my peers who stayed up with me late into the night studying cranial nerves, to my professors who guided me and believed in my potential and showed genuine care for my health, to the staff and other professionals who led and gave opportunities I would have never considered pursuing. I thank you all for the indescribable college experience you all gave me and my peers. I want to thank all the professors and educators. Without you all, we wouldn't be here. You have all made the selfless decision to pass on your years of knowledge to us. You've entrusted your passion and wisdom to us eager and hungry learners. You have all supported us in various ways for all of us to reach our true potential. I personally want to thank all of my educators, as you've all inspired me to possibly teach in the future. Because if you had asked me before I met any of you, I would have ran in the other direction if offered the chance. But I'm inspired by the twinkle in your eyes and passion in your voices as you talk about the things you have dedicated your life to. I personally want to thank Professor Everett Smith for so joyously showing us, hearing folk, how amazing deaf culture is. I want to thank Cindy and Linda for always being such a joy to see when I walk into the office, as I say I need to submit another form when really I heard there were cookies on the counter. I especially want to thank Dr. Zapecki for always showing me that you can do it all and amazingly well. I cannot name everyone that has influenced me for the sake of time, but do know that if I could dedicate a whole speech to just you and your influence, I would. But thank you all for what you've done and showed me and my peers. We are forever grateful to you for showing us the way. It's unfair that our true college experience was cut short. Our days shuffling through campus amid the 10:30 a.m. rush, walking down the 7th Street Plaza as snacks and organizations try to grab our attention, to the beautiful days when the weather was just right and we laid in the grass as the sun warmed our bodies. But thankfully, these memories stay with us and remind us that there are more memories to make. What we learned and gained here has shaped us and showed us that there is still more out there. The tools we acquired, the blueprints and handbooks we've gathered, and the dreams and knowledge we now have has made us ready to build the future we have always dreamed. I am once again so thankful and proud of everyone here and cannot wait to see what you all will do. In the far future, I will reminisce fondly on these faces and excitedly tell those around me how the face of education has been changed and improved due to the work that you all will do. We have been educated, will continue to be educated, but are now ready to educate those around us. Congratulations, class of 2021. What will we conquer next?
All right, congratulations again to all of our graduates. Thank you so much to Janeth and Charline for giving those remarks and speaking on behalf of our graduating class this semester. So we want to conclude things with a toast to really celebrate and bring to a conclusion this semester, this year, and the academic experiences of all of our graduates. So I'm going to pass the mic back off to our Dean Heather Lattimer to lead us in a toast.
All right. Well, I took down my Zoom background so that you could see the glass because so it didn't blend into the background, because we've learned that too, right? It does mean that you get to see the bedroom from which I have been operating for the last 15 months. It's not glamorous, but fortunately we're surrounded by a community of people who are not worried about the glamour, they're worried about the work. And that certainly includes our students. So to all of you, please raise a glass to all of our students for the incredible people they are, the incredible work that they have done, and for their futures, which are incredibly bright and filled with possibility. Congratulations to the class of 2021.
And I think if our speech givers have their families nearby, they could bring them into the frame, right?
That would be great.
I'd love to see your families if you want. There they are, Janeth.
And
Excellent.
Felicidades.
thank you.
Muchas gracias.
We could also see our faculty boogieing down to this exciting graduation music. See Brian going at it. There we go. Charlene's dancing.
Charlene. Did you find your family, Charlene?
All right.
All right. Well, thanks again to all of you for all of your participation in making this event happen. Really just special to kind of bring some recognition and some closure to all of the hard work that all of our graduates have put in during their time in our college. So I'm going to go back to screen sharing here for a moment just to cover what's next for the remainder of our graduation celebration. So there we go. All righty. So that pretty much concludes our college-wide ceremony, and we'll be finishing up the live stream here in just a moment. But for family and friends who are tuning in, please stay on the live stream for a little bit longer. We have a nice little surprise for you. We asked our graduates to submit like a collage slide as part of a slideshow, just to give their thanks and recognition of those who have really supported them as they've gone through this experience. So we'll be playing that slideshow right after this. So if you want to stick around and check those out, they're amazing. I had the fortune of just receiving all of those and organizing them over the course of the week. And then for graduates, faculty, and staff, at this point, we'll have you leave this Zoom webinar and transition into your respective Zoom events. So you should have the Zoom link for your department celebration in your SJSU Google Calendar. Just remember that you do need to be signed into your SJSU Zoom account before you can access that event. If you do have any challenges with accessing your department celebration, feel free to send us an email at lurie.college@sjsu.edu. But I think that's it. So I will go ahead and get this music playing again, and we'll get the slideshow going. That's it. Thanks everyone for attending. Enjoy your celebrating.
Congratulations, everyone.
Felicidades a todos, todas. Brian, we got a question about putting the department links in the chat. There we go. So everybody should be able to see those links in the chat. That'll help you out.
All right, everybody. Well, that concludes our SJSU Lurie College of Education graduation celebration for the spring 2021 semester. So I'd just like to thank you all for tuning in live if you're still here in the Zoom webinar or watching live on YouTube, or if you're watching this later, maybe a day from now, a week from now, a year from now. Hope you all enjoyed celebrating with us today and just continue celebrating the accomplishments of all of our graduates as we move ahead and emerge out of this pandemic and look ahead to the future and better times for sure. So take care, everyone. And that's it. Have a good day.